Hi, and thank you for joining me for another short talk. And today, friends, I want you to ponder a certain idea. An idea that certainly in our age of information and communication cannot be denied. And the idea is that both Islam and Christianity are both nothing more or less than just a corrupted form of rabbinic Judaism. And if you're a Muslim or a Christian, I really want you to listen to what I'm saying today. That virtually every idea or practice that your religion now claims to be divinely revealed to them by the Creator in the New Testament or the Quran arose somehow out of a rabbinic dispute or suggestion in rabbinic literature. Now, there are a handful of exceptions, but not enough really to deter this notion. And those of you who disagree off the bat, I'm sorry to say that the reason you disagree is only because you do not know rabbinic literature as well as you think you do. In other words, rabbinic literature contains what is known as agadah or midrash, i.e. legends, folklore, and tales, that in the untrained mind or society becomes doctrine and divine when it was never really intended to be. In other words, in Judaism, at least traditional Judaism, Jews always made a distinction from what's from the Torah and what's from the rabbis, right? Between what's halachic and what's just minhag or midrash. And no, friends, only because something becomes accepted like a custom among Israel does not make it halakha, right? Minhag Yisrael Torahi still needs a court to declare it so. And surprisingly, both Islam and Christianity have similar works and categories within it, right? Like the Hadith in Islam or Paul's writings in Christianity, which fundamentalists in both belief systems bundle in with their source text. In other words, they also consider it all from God. And it's really because of laziness. How? Because when teaching over Torah and its principles, it's easier in the short run to get someone to just accept everything from God instead of making distinction between what's divine instruction and what's just advice, which could either help or in some situations even make things worse. And this is here I'm talking about midrashim and how sometimes midrashim actually help the situation and in some instances could actually make things worse if one applies it in every situation like some sort of divine truth. For example, I remember once I heard an imam say that all life is precious because the divine holy Quran tells us that he who destroys a single life is equivalent to him destroying the whole world, right? Or when Christians quote the golden rule and also claim it to be from a divine source or from divine origin, when both of these statements pre-existed both the Quran and the New Testament, and again, exist in the Jewish world of agadah, i.e. folklore within rabbinic literature. So ultimately, one could say that it's not inherently bad ideas that corrupt a society, but rather the corruption of good ideas that do. This is why we as Jews owe this to the world, at least to give them this much, to give them a proper understanding of Torah and its author. And this is why I don't just necessarily make you feel good or special with what I say in my talks, right? Aren't there enough rabbis who do that? No. I only speak when I have to speak and when there's a problem to address. And this is what I do. And if you're hearing me and you belong to either Islam or Christianity, I know that you feel like your leaders may have let you down. So don't waste any more time and go back to the source. Heck, become a full Jew.